We cut over 200 pounds, including pulling out the passenger seat and the rear seat. After the weight reduction, we turned our attention to a muscle car's arch enemy, traction. When you're pushing over 700 horsepower, you're going to need to pull out all the stops. So we did. The SRT Demon will be factory equipped with 18 by 11 inch lightweight wheels and massive 315 millimeter nittos. Street legal cheater slicks have never before been available on a production car. But again, there's never been a production car like this. These tires were developed specifically for the SRT Demon. But as amazing as these tires are, alone, they weren't going to be able to handle the torque loads that it takes to put a 4,200 pound car into the record books. Demon needed an arsenal of mechanical ammo to back it up. We needed the mechanical equivalent of the ACR Extreme Aero package. But knowing what we needed was the easy part. Accomplishing it in a street legal car was a whole other thing. So to figure it out, we went back to school, to a highly sophisticated version of an old school solution. Loosen the front suspension to bring up the front suspension as quickly and violently as possible. That creates the opposite reaction in the rear end, essentially shifting all the weight from the front of the car to the rear, letting those massive nittos do their job. Stick, wrinkle, and try to rotate the earth. But remember, this is a street legal muscle car. So it can electronically alter its tuning within milliseconds, switching back to a sport mode to keep you off the wall if the driver gets out of the throttle for any reason. Racers have been using two-step torque reserve boxes and trans brakes for years, but no one has ever put them in a production car. The ability to cut fuel to individual cylinders, pull timing, and pre-fill the supercharger, and lock the input and output shaft of the transmission all at the same time allows Demon to stage with 8 pounds of boost and reach full first gear boost pressures within 6 feet of the starting line. So if this isn't new, why hasn't anybody done it before? Because no one but Dodge had the guts to do it. The Demon was built to be the industry's first and only purpose-built, street-legal, production drag car. Now, with those harder launches and more traction than we've ever had, we could turn the crank on the power and torque, pushing it right to the edge of what our newfound traction could handle. How? Step 1, multiply the Hemi's legendary torque with a new higher stall speed torque converter and upgraded 309 rear end gearing. Step 2, give the Demon the best possible air. The more air, the cooler and denser that air is, the more power the Demon will develop. So we gave it the largest functional cold air intake system ever used on a production car, and the first ever factory production intake chiller system. When in drag mode, this system diverts the Demon's air conditioning system to supercool the liquid to air charge air coolers. This drops the intake air temps by over 45 degrees. And finally, step 3. After watching all the aftermarket tuners over revving, over boosting, and overstating the usable horsepower, the team couldn't resist upgrading the beast that got us this far. With a larger 2.7 liter supercharger producing 14.5 pounds of boost, Demon-specific crankshaft, connecting rods and pistons, dual fuel pumps and higher flow fuel injectors, new billet steel camshaft with upgraded valve train, and a new direct connection engine controller that allows you to switch from pump gas tune to race fuel tune on demand. I told you that Demon is a street strip muscle car. So for those of you that would rather figure out how to cut a faster light than leave your friends behind, don't worry. You can set Demon up however you want. You want the most badass everyday driver? No problem. We've created a side item menu for easy upfitting. You want the front seat? It's $1. You want the back seat? That's $1. You want the Harman Kardon audio? We'll sell you that too. You can make your Demon as crazy or as comfortable as you want. I can't stress enough, Demon isn't just the industry's first and only purpose-built, street-legal production drag car. It's also the world's first drag car that you'll actually want to drive on the street. And there's no need to be worried about how to insure Demon for street use. We've teamed up with the world's premier specialty car insurer. Hagerty Insurance is the official insurance provider for the Demon. That's why every Challenger SRT Demon comes with a leather-bound track tech manual that covers all the details on how to set up your Demon for track use. Because this is a car that earned a flight manual. After all, this is a project that would have never flown at a typical OEM. How Dodge. Now that's how Dodge makes an entrance. Start by strapping yourself into the Demon's 4-point harness. Use the red key, push the start button to bring the most powerful production V8 in history to life. Activate drag mode, and instantly your suspension recalibrates for maximum lift while diverting the AC to super cool your intake air charge. Then roll into the water box, activate line lock, spinning the massive drag radials with precision control. The nittos are over 200 degrees now and nearly dripping as you creep forward to the starting line. You hear them gripping and pulling at the track. That's it, you're pre-staged now and only 7 inches away from the countdown. Torque reserve, check. Trans brake, check. The supercharger bypass valve closes and 8 pounds of boost is now building in the manifold, waiting for you to release the trans brake. The yellows go out and you're gone. 1.8 Gs and you've cleared the tower. The launch is so violent that over a ton of mass is transferred to the rear of the car, lifting the front wheels off the ground and carrying them for 3 feet. 1 second into the hit and you're already doing 30 miles per hour. You're pinned to the back of your seat, holding 1.3 Gs. Bang, second gear, third gear. You just passed 60 miles an hour and it's only 2.3 seconds in. The Demon's starting to settle in now, 5.1 seconds and you're passing 100 miles an hour. And when you hit 140 miles an hour and cross that line, you know what you did, and the scoreboard shares your feet with the nearby world. 9.65 seconds. What you did there was make history behind the wheel of the fastest production car in the world. Don't take my word for it. That 9.65 second run was not only certified by the NHRA, it got you a certified letter from them banning it from competition because it's too damn fast. It only takes 9.65 seconds to remind you of what it means to mean something, to remind you of the freedom that 840 horsepower can deliver.
Let's get it.